Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we have Chad Kearns here, who is the owner and winemaker, if you will, from Giracci Vineyard and Farms. Well, welcome. Very nice to see you.
Good to see you, Lisa.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I know you've been very busy, and we were just chit-chatting about the other location where you had your OC Wine Fest last time,
right,
which was at a Stone's Throw Winery.
Right.
But now you're focusing out on Giracci, so tell me about that place.
Correct. Giracci is a 10-acre property. It's been in development since 2005, and we have about 5 different sites that we can have weddings and events at. We have locations that can handle hundreds and hundreds of people, indoor and outdoor. So weather's not really an option or a problem for us. So we've been working on that, and we've got some new outdoor areas that we're going to kind of roll out for the new Wine Fest.
Right, because you have a wine fest and you also have other activities that we'll get to in just a bit. But one thing I wanted to just talk about is kind of your location. So most people probably don't travel back in that area, right? Because it's Trabuco Canyon Road that takes you out there. So there's a facility right next door to you. Is that a ranch?
There is a ranch. It's called
Okay.
Circle S Ranch, and they are actually a working ranch. They have Western and roping and reining horses.
Right.
And they do a lot of Western riding, and they have I think it's roping on Fridays and sorting on Saturdays.
Okay.
And they once a month open it up to the public, and they can come out for one of their events.
Okay, and you're right next door now.
Right next door, correct.
Now, are you your private facility, so you would need to make reservations, or how does that work?
You mean our facility or Circle S?
No, you.
Yeah, we are open to the public on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays,
Okay.
from 3 to 8 on Fridays and from 11 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
We're open for tastings, and we have food, and we have several events that go on during the month.
Okay, well, fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about the wines that you have out there. You have Giracci, and then you have the Cowboy wines. Is there
Right.
any others?
We do have Stone's Throw, which was our label down at our San Juan facility, and we still have it on property.
Okay, all right, fantastic. And you just mentioned that your wines just received an award of some
Yeah,
kind.
we just won a double gold for our current Pinot Noir Reserve, which you have a picture of our previous one.
Fantastic.
On the
Oh, yeah, well, I pulled that off the
That was
website.
nice.
So that was your last one, and now you have a brand new one. And so is that just recently, this last year?
It was announced yesterday at the LA Invitational Wine competition.
Right, and then when did you actually bottle the wine?
We bottled it back in November, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay, so fairly recent.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, fantastic. And then what about the other one?
This is our sparkling. We do a lot of weddings and events, so we got a lot of requests for sparkling. So it's quite nice. It's very drinkable, has some pear and citrus notes to it. It's great.
Now, I know that last time that we talked, your vineyards are not just where Giracci is.
Right.
You get them from a variety of different places. So tell me a little about how that works.
Well, Orange County had vineyards back in the 1850s. Excuse me, I've got an itch on my nose. Orange County had vineyards back in the 1850s, and we've got a lot of disease here. We have several vineyards that we manage, and we make some wine for them here in Orange County. But we do source from Santa Barbara, Paso Robles, Santa Lucia Highlands for some of our Pinots, Napa, Sonoma.
Okay.
I do some Sierra foothills. We source from all over California. We drive up in a truck and drive them down refrigerated. And,
I bet.
And we crush them on property. I
Right.
do use some custom crush facilities for the glycol units and things to keep the wines cold, but
Okay.
that's just all technical winemaking stuff.
So, talk to me a little bit about you and your wife. I mean, this is a labor of love. This isn't what you used to do.
No, we were in healthcare, and most people, especially during COVID, realized that healthcare was a fairly stressful field, and we needed a little relaxation, and we used to go wine tasting, and I thought, man, wine tasting would be great. I'd love to have a vineyard, and we searched Central Valley and Central Coast for years and made offers on properties and just kept losing them to some of the big wineries. There was a lot of growth back then, and we kind of licked our wounds and came back to Orange County and found an old horse farm. And rehabbed it. First started having horses on the property, and then we've converted some of the barns. We took the horse stalls out of the middle of them and made them event centers. So
Yeah.
It's really been, we thought it was a 5-year plan. It turned into a 10. We're past 15.
That's going to be 20, 30.
So, right, we've got a couple children that are coming back and helping us run the events.
Really? Okay.
And one of them he's been working in the hospitality industry in Orange County, and he wants to come back and run winery himself.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
I love it. We actually have been showing some pictures of your wine tasting areas. So tell me about the central area, what we're showing right now.
Let me see. Oh, that's our tasting room. That was it was built in the 1980s as a clubhouse for the riding facility. It was an Arabian horse ranch, and that was for the trainers and people to go ahead and sit and enjoy. And the bar originally was pink formica and bamboo, and the floor when we got it, it was 3 levels of indoor-outdoor carpet that were worn out. So we stripped off the carpet and put in slate, which was bulletproof, so that it stays like this. It's got a nice warm feeling with the fireplace, and the bar was built in place to mimic an antique.
Yeah, no, I've been out there before, and I really love how it feels very, it feels kind of old-fashioned a little bit, you know, like it is a little bit Western, so you do have that feel. And then the property is really beautiful, and we don't have a whole lot of pictures for it today, but you know, what I loved about it when I went there is that you do have lots of different things you can do on the property. I mean, you have the outdoor arena, and then you said you just built a new arena where you have fountains, where you can have some of your Wine Down Fridays. Tell us about Wine Down Friday and how people can participate with that.
Wine Down Friday is the 3rd Friday of every month, and it's just an event that goes on from 6 to 9. We have food you can purchase. You can purchase food and drink. We have live music. So people can come out and wind down from the end of the week and enjoy themselves. We did start Fandango Fridays, which is for our cowboy label. So it's more of a,
nice.
We kind of have country music for it. We do a little line dancing. Sometimes we'll have a line dancing instructor come out to get people going and teach them how to do all that.
That's fantastic. You know, a lot of people here, they love line dancing, so that will be really fun. So Friday nights are Wine Down Fridays, and there's other specialty things that you do on Friday, like you just said, Fandango. However, next Friday, St. Patrick's Day, you're having an event.
We do have an event for St. Patrick's Day, and I think this one's going to be a fish fry.
It looks like fish and chips.
Exactly, fish and chips for the for St. Patrick's Day, live music. Should be a really good time. Green beer.
Perfect. So you do have beer?
We do have beer. We actually have a full liquor license on property now.
Oh, nice. Because, you know, not everybody loves to drink wine.
Correct. We used to get a lot of women that would come out, and the guys would say, man, I wish you had beer. And so we went ahead and applied. We won the lottery a few years ago and got a full liquor license on the property. Oh,
I love to hear that. All right, great. So what I'd like to do is while you are opening up some wines, we're going to taste a little bit of this. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Orange County Wine Fest and spirits, and then you can also talk and do that at the same time. So you decided to have the OC Wine Fest and spirits out at Giracci Farms, which is what we've been talking about, and that's going to be on Sunday, March 26th. Only one day this time. Correct. We used to have a 2-day event down in San Juan, and it was just hard to get the wineries and vendors to be there and to dedicate for 2 days. Sure. So we went ahead and made it into a 1-day event. Okay, great. And then you have lots of different, obviously you have different wines. People can come and they pay a fee, and then you go in and you get all of the wine tastings. Is that correct? Correct. Or how does that work? We have not only wine tastings, we have some spirits tastings and some breweries as well. Oh, okay. I think this year we have about 18 wineries and 13 spirits vendors and 1 or 2 breweries. Oh, great. I love that. And, you know, it's nice, like you said, because not everybody is just about wine. They like lots of different things. Right. Which spirits are you having? We have some tequila vendors. We have, actually, my original winemaking assistant, Gian Nelson, started his own mezcal distillery. Really? So he's coming with his mezcal. It's called Hano. Where does he do that out of? He's up in Napa now. He left me several years ago and kind of grew onto his own, and he's doing really well. He won... some people may have seen him on TV. He was in the series Master Distillers, and he got a second place in that. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. That is great. Now, what are we tasting first? This is a sparkling. Oh, that's right. So you have a lot of, like you said, you do lots of weddings. Right. It's lots of weddings. We got a lot of requests for something sparkling. It has a little bit of residual sugar in it. It's just off dry. It has some pear and citrus notes to it, and it's very, very drinkable. I like it. Ooh. I didn't make it to be any one direction as a sparkling. Oh, that's nice. You know, how do you treat this differently than a regular wine? I mean, obviously it's sparkling, but
well, temperature control is very difficult when you make white wines. So That's why I don't do a lot of my whites on property. I use custom crush facilities because they have glycol units. But the sparkling we actually do in bottle. It's fermented what they call method champenois. So you make the wine first and you leave it in a barrel and you leave it a little bit sweet. It's got some sugar in it.
Okay. And
then when we take it out of the barrel, we put it in the bottle and we actually inoculate it with some nutrients and some yeast in the bottle, and it has what looks like a beer cap on it.
Oh.
And it goes into a container. And we used to, if you come out to the property, you'll see the riddling rack, which we used to riddle the wine, and it tips it and spins it until it's upside down, and all of the yeasts and the nutrients that are in the wine have now settled into the neck of the bottle.
I see.
And then again, you need the glycol unit to freeze that. When it's upside down, it goes into a machine that freezes that little plug at the top, and then spins it up and pops that what they call the crown cap, which is the beer cap, off the top of it, and it shoots that little plug of all the nasty stuff that would be in it.
Oh, how interesting.
And that once it's done that way, you top it off with a little brandy or something like that. It brings the alcohol up, you put the cork in it, and then the crown.
Okay, that is so interesting. And you know, you must, so the last time I was there, it's been quite some time, we did a little bit of a tour, and you had your cellar, and then you had the one facility where you had some of the wines, but I'm imagining you've expanded that one facility, right?
Yeah, we have the barrel room, which we still have, and we have our case storage, which used to be my garage of my cottage. So we have those two areas for storage, but we converted the one barn to an event center.
Right.
And it'll seat about 300 people inside.
Right.
And then we have you were there when we had the area under the oak trees. Right outside the tasting room that we saw earlier.
Oh, that's right.
With the stairs.
Yes.
That's one area. It holds about 120.
Okay.
And then in front of the gazebo, we took the decomposed granite area, and we actually paved it and put a dance floor in it for the for Fandango Fridays and
fantastic.
for our cowboy parties. We're looking at one this summer that's going to be a large one. Lots of line dancing, so there's a big 18 by 18 concrete pad for people to dance on.
I love it.
We have a new area that we just put a fountain in, and it seats probably about 120 around the fountain with a raised pergola for the band to be in. So it should be a lot of fun.
You know, and it's really just a beautiful drive too. So, you know, spring, summer, a little warm in the summer, but springtime, it is just such a great drive. And it's not that far. I mean, from here, it's probably a good 25 minutes maybe.
Yeah, it's about 25 minutes. We get a lot of people when I'm driving home. We get behind people when I see the car in front of me turn around all the time because they get going and they don't realize what's out there.
Right.
And it's a little scary for some people not knowing where they're headed. But if you keep going on the road, you end up in Orange. Or if you come from Orange and you keep going, you end up in El Toro.
Yeah.
So it's not really into nowhere, but people just don't realize that there's that 10-mile section that's really, it's really country, and it's really laid back and nice. We've got Christmas tree farms out there. My next door neighbor has the sorting and the roping.
Right. And Majeska's out there too.
Madame Majeska's house is out there, correct. We have a new restaurant that opened up this year that's out there in downtown. The cafe's still there.
Great.
Yeah, the town is growing. It's there's still only about 490 homes, but
yeah, well, there's a lot of land still out there, thank goodness, you know, because it kind of feels like you can get away from everything, so that's perfect. All right, and this is your award-winning wine, so we're going to taste this one.
Yeah, it's got some nice strawberry and raspberry notes on it.
It sure does. That's very nice. Oh, that is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, for sure, the strawberry and the fruit. That is really nice.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. We did.
That is just awesome.
We did win another. We won some medals with my Cabernet as well, and we have a couple more competitions coming up probably in the next week or so. We'll hear.
Well, I'm assuming people can taste your wines as well when you go out there to the Orange County Wine Fest.
Yep.
Let's give everybody that information one more time, because for all of the residents here in the village, you get a special promo code when you buy tickets. You would type in Village when it says promo code, and you get 50% off the ticket price. But you need to go to ocwineandspiritfest.com. That is March 26th from 12 to 4 at Giracci. So much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really am glad you could make it out.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right. And as I mentioned, if you want more information, you can always go to their website. For the website for this particular event, it's ocwineandspiritfest.com, or you can go to Giracci.com. We'll be right back.